Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. The topic, it is a very interesting topic, really. Interesting, really an interesting topic. Shastra and beyond the Shastra. So that is the topic of discussion for this morning. The virtue of the, it is from everything from Sri Aurobindo we are talking about, we are reading. The virtue of the Shastra is that it sets up a standard outside ourselves. Sets up a standard outside ourselves. We don't know what is our outside, what is our inside. Outside ourselves, different from our personal desires, different from the personal desires, our reasonings, passions, prejudices, outside our selfishness and self-will, by living up to which, in the right spirit, we can not only acquire self-control, but by reducing even the sattvic ahankar to a minimum, prepare ourselves for the liberation. That is where the virtue of Shastra. Very interesting. In one single sentence, Sri Aurobindo has discovered a lot of things, analyzed a lot of things, put before us a lot of solutions. The virtue of the Shastra, what are there? Is to set up a standard outside ourselves, not inside. Things are there because so many things are there, they are on hard. But whatever we are reading is a very little point of what really has been explored. To set up a standard outside ourselves, different from our personal desires, different from your personal desires, third, reasonings, fourth, passions, five, prejudices, and second in another set, outside the selfishness, what we really possess, our beyond outside our selfishness, self-will, and by living to which the right spirit, we can not only acquire self-control, we will acquire the self-control. That is the purpose. And by reducing even the sattvic ahankar, by reducing that to a minimum, and prepare this reducing the sattvic ahankar, we have to go for the preparation of our true liberation. Liberation is not that we have been freed on 15th August 1947 or something. True liberation. In the old age, Shastra was only a Vedic dharma based upon the profound knowledge of man's psychology. In the old age, here in the course, in the old age, Shastra was only the Vedic dharma based upon the profound knowledge of man's psychology and the laws of the world, psychology and the laws of the world. It was based upon that, revealing man to himself. It was everything was concealed. This Vedic Shastra revealed man to himself and showing him how to live according to the nature, how to live according to the nature. Afterwards, it was the law of the Smriti. Initially, it was the law of the world. Later, we can find the law of the Smriti. It is still profounder. Which tried to do the same thing more roughly by classifying men according to their general classes. General classes, different classes, Brahman, Vaishya, Shudra. So, the four classes. According to the general classes of which the Vedas 6, Chaturvarna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahman, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahman, who do the Jagna, worship and riots. Vaishya business, Kshatriya who wage wars, and Shudra who helped all these poor, all the society, Chaturvarna. Today, it is little more than a blind mechanical custom, something we have got a risen of, and a habitual social observation. Little bit we have performed, we have achieved, we have gone beyond, but not fully liberated. A thing not sattvic, but everything seems to be tamasic. Not a preparatory discipline for liberation, but a mere bondage. Same things, same turn towards the old, age-old criteria and age-old stories we are returning, and nothing more have been done so far. So two things Sri Aurobindo quoted. One is the law of life and the law of Smriti. Law of life, we have here we have law of the world regarding himself, so showing how to live according to the nature like this. But in the law of Smritis, you created something Chaturvarna, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and the Sudra, habitual observance, and not sattvic but tamasic. Not a preparatory discipline for liberation, but it brought to us towards the habitual bondage, old wine in new bottle. So that is what we have seen, and Sri Aurobindo goes forward. Even the highest Shastra, not only Sri Aurobindo states and comments upon this lower world, he goes up to a higher consciousness, considering the higher Shastras can be misused. That's what Sri Aurobindo quotes. Can be misused by for the purpose of the egoism. That is the greatest barrier for this sadhaka and for this world. It can be highest shastras can be misutilized for the purpose of egoism. And this egoism of virtue, egoism of prejudice, and personal opinion. That is what three things we normally see. That's what Sri Aurobindo quotes. Egoism of virtue, egoism of prejudice, and personal egoism, opinion. So at the best, it is only a great means towards a preparation of our liberation. Just a preparation for liberation, and it is a great means for the preparation for the liberation. It is, Sabda Brahma. That's what Sri Aurobindo quotes, Sabda Brahma. But we must not be satisfied with the mere preparation. It is just a preparation, nothing has been achieved. The road is not over, stop, road is not blocked, it is just seems to be closed. It is an ongoing process, until you have to go, prepare, you keep moving. Sabda Brahma, but we must not be satisfied with this mere preparation. We must, as soon as our eyes are opened, because in sleep we feel we have covered everything. But as soon as our eyes are open, we can see a lot of things to be done. Paths are still untrodden. Goal is still far. You have to go restlessly, but we must not have impatience. We must have huge patience. Hasten to the actual freedom, not the freedom what we see, what we say, what we feel, what we hear of, but actually freedom is something different. With that we have to go. We have to prepare for the true people, the actual freedom, the liberated soul and the sadhak of liberation. Liberated soul and the sadhak of liberation who has surrendered even his action to go, that surrender, action to the God, gets beyond the higher Shastra. Go beyond the higher Shastra, because this Shastra, it has got its own limitation. It can't reach you to take you towards the true liberation. You have to go beyond to a higher consciousness and think beyond, live beyond. That is what the requirement. That's what Sri Aurobindo tells. Don't get satisfied. Woods are lovely, dark and deep, and promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep. That's what you want to go. You have to progress. Charaivati, charaivati, charaivati. It is the thing to the soul. Charaivati. Go forward, go forward, go forward. Don't get satisfied. That's what Sri Aurobindo quotes. And interestingly, Sri Aurobindo uses the term that is from in Sanskrit. Sabda brahmahati vartate. Ati vartate. You have to cross, you have to overcome, you have to pass on. That is what the requirement from you. Don't get satisfied. And if you are satisfied, this progress will stop somewhere. In between, the progress will stop, and you are not here to stop the progress, because no, they did not have the idea that it can be done, or something is existing beyond the thought of the human mind, that surface mind. Still, you have to cross over, you have to pass over, you have to go, you have to reach there. And the Sri Aurobindo goes forward beautifully. Some of the beautiful definitions you can find from the glorious writings of the master. All Shastra is the outcome of past experience and a help to the future experience. What is the purpose? You have to gain experience. For that, the soul has taken birth, come down, descended. And something has been done in the past, and this past is not to return. The future awaiting. You have not seen the future, face of the future. Where really you stand? You stand on the one middle scale, medieval period. You are standing, you are observing. That is what. All Shastra is the outcome of the past experience, outcome of the past experience, and a help to the future experience. Shastra, whatever has been written, it is out of the experience of the past. And the past is lost, but as well this experience is not lost. Past, use past as a springboard to lean towards the future. Past was your foundation, present is your material, and the future would be our summit. With this foundation that is past, you have to, collecting the material that is present, you have to erect the structure, many-storied building on this past foundation. And this many-storied building will be your future. So Sri Aurobindo quotes, all Shastra is the outcome of past experience and a help to the future experience. So again, Sri Aurobindo quotes, Vedanta is God's lamp to lead thee out of the night of bondage and egoism. It is because we are confined. We are confined to the bonds of, or rather, the nights of bondage and egoism. We have to get freed, but we don't know how to get freed, liberated. Who will guide us? Who will take us out of this darkness and bondage towards the light and the freedom, liberation? That is what known as the bondage, Vedanta. Vedanta. What is this Vedanta? Somebody may ask. Veda plus Anta Vedanta and latter. So Vedanta is God's lamp. As the darkness we can see the path. Everything is dark. Here is also you have to you see the things, objects. Inside the darkness you have to get some light. You have to dazzle a light, lamp a light, burn a light, put a light. Here like this, inside the night of bondage and egoism, you need light, and this light is nothing. This is God's lamp, not a human. That is Vedanta. Vedanta is God's lamp to lead thee out of this night of bondage to egoism. Then Sri Aurobindo quotes, act according to the Shastra rather than the self-will and desire. Initially we have read about the self-will, desire, compulsion, self-bondage. Sri Aurobindo tries to clarify and explain in a very interesting way. Act according to the Shastra, what has been written in the Shastra, what has been explained, what has been analyzed, how you have been advised by Shastra, rather than by self-will and desire, so that thou grow stronger to control the revener in thee. A revener in thee that can be controlled only by going through the supreme advices of Shastra, not by your self-will or desire. You have to go through. You have to be guided by the guiding lights of the Shastra. But act according to God rather than the Shastra. Shastra is total ignorance. self will and desire, then comes your Shastra, and after Shastra comes the God. Act according to God rather than Shastra, so shalt thou reach his highest, which is fair above rule and which is far above rule and limit. So you have to God, you have to obey, accept God, which is beyond all Shastras. That is what the requirement. So we have to go for the Shastra and follow the God and be guided and taken by the God. That is the requirement. Vande Mataram.